74, 75 degrees. I'll take it. The only thing I would take away is the smoke everywhere, man.
It sounds like that around here too.
Oh, we're live. Let's get going. We are now live, and I'm gonna turn my thing on. All righty, let's get going from the Jersey boys. All right. Well, today we're excited about today. I'm fired up. All right, live out of Miami, Fort Lauderdale, and Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and a special guest, one of our favorite guest hosts from Ohio, native of South Florida, Andres Gisbert. And today is July 21st. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Sportscast in all your channels, YouTube, Periscope, and iTunes. And if you're on iTunes, subscribe to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. Please subscribe, leave us a rating and a review. It'll help us out tremendously. You also can visit us on the sportscast.net or follow us on Twitter at the Sportscast1. Well, you'll see a lot of our comments, myself, Byron, Andres, Justin Riley and his show, and S. Leon about basketball, everything you talk about in sports. You visit us on Twitter at the Sportscast1. Please make sure you also have a Sportscast app on the iOS store. Subscribe to YouTube for the Sportscast, particularly the Jersey Boys Sportscast. Get your notification because then you can hear us in your car. You can hear us anyway. You can hear us laughing as we try to get Byron to wear his spandex on the show. Let's see what we got going on here. Live on Facebook, live on YouTube. You hear all the boys coming in. We're getting ready to get started. I'm excited about today. Don't know why. I guess I got a little bit of, I don't know. I actually should be tired. But Byron.
Yes.
Welcome, buddy. What's going on? You got the Bucks looking show today right now. What's up there?
I'm wearing it for you because you're an undercover Tampa Bay fan. You don't want the Giants fans to know. Yeah, I'm putting you on blast early. That you're a Tampa Bay fan. We're going to take your Giant card from you. The first meeting that we have.
All right. Well, I want to first of all, let's welcome. Before I attack you back, let's welcome our host again. He's one of our favorites. Every time he's on the show, we get great response and comments. Andre Gisbert. He's got tons of knowledge. He has particularly analytics as it relates to sports, championship, high school, coaching in college. He's now he's got a lot of sports now, so we're very excited to have him on again. Andres, you're telling us about your little your cool weather in Ohio. You got a South Florida boy in the middle of no beach nowhere. You got lakes. So what's going on over there?
Well, after 10 days in Captiva Island, I had to go ahead and come back to realization. Right. Had some fun in Captiva, had some fun with the fam, had some arroz con pollo, some habichuela, a little bit of everything.
Habichuelas, that brother changed from Cuban to Puerto Rican. You know that, right?
Yes, I did.
Cubans don't call beans habichuelas, Byron. They call them frijoles.
They call them frijoles, but when it's a Puerto Rican making it, it's habichuelas.
It's the same thing, same bean.
Same bean, just a little bit different. They put the bacon in it instead of the ham bone.
Oh, it's all you, Byron. Bacon.
I love bacon. Bacon.
Oh, man, nature's candy, baby.
I laugh. Between the size of you two guys, I would love to see you guys wearing matching spandex, man. Because Andre's a big boy too, man.
Hey, man.
Right, well, welcome to the show. Let me make my comment back to Mr. Byron and his Brady time, my Bucks fan. Look, I wish I could have recorded. I could take a snippet of it. They asked on one of the shows today, Jeff Saturday. Who Jeff Saturday play for? Colts. Right? Who was his quarterback?
Oh, geez.
Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. Okay. And they asked him, who's funnier? Because Tom Brady was, making some jokes. He thought it was funny. Who's funnier? Peyton Manning or Tom Brady? He started laughing. He goes, come on, man. I'm never going to go against my guy. Oh, Justin Riley, what's up with your daughter wearing a Jaguars cap? Oh, your daughter's wearing Jaguars cap. What was the posted? Oh, Giants. Where's my daughter had a Jaguars cap? I got to check that out. Oh, I don't know. Maybe because my sister lives in Jacksonville, but she's a Giant fan. I got dogs with Giant stuff. In fact, I'll bring them in for Byron. So anyhow, they go, who's funnier, Peyton Manning or Brady? He goes, come on, I'm never going against my man Manning. He goes, but I tell you what, I never thought I would say this. I didn't never think I would like Brady. I like Brady now, the guy with the Bucks. I'm a big Brady fan. I was like, where's Byron when I need him? I've never talked about Brady this much as I did since he's been with the Bucks. This is Jeff Saturday, who hated him, who had one of the Hall of Fame quarterback on his team. Said pretty much the same thing I said. He goes, I like this Tom Brady with the Bucks. Everybody says it.
I'm talking about you just being a sellout Giant fan. You jumped on the bandwagon because they won a championship last year. And
I called it.
I'm being a hater right now. I'm being a hater. I'm just letting you know.
Because just like your phone, you're a flip-flopper.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, that's all it is. You're a flip-flopper. You're a flip-flopper. Everybody on the show says, how many hats do you wear? That's not true. I've been a Giant fan, true and blue, but I called it last year.
But why is it that you
before they won it, that they were going to win. And then I called it with Antonio Brown. Don't make me repeat myself. Bottom line is Jeff Saturday, who hated Tom Brady, is a Brady fan. There's probably more Brady fans today the way he's behaved and won with the Bucks than they did when he was with the Patriots. Stop. Brady Andre, what do you think, Andre? Do you think more people like Brady now or Brady?
I think he's got an amazing public relations staff.
There you go.
Okay. Does the staff do better pre-Bucks or post? Pre-Bucks or with the Bucks?
I think the appeal of him being more approachable on a team that was more let's go back to the mentality of a Bill Belichick team. You're only allowed to talk to the players when he says so. Bruce Arenas don't give a crap.
My man.
Yeah, but I like Bruce Arians called him out early in the season.
He don't care. He don't care.
Fan, you never say anything to me, Byron, about being a Bruce Arians fan.
Because I liked him before he even came to with the Tampa Bay. I didn't
even know Bruce Arians. You made me a Bruce Arians fan. You even made me a red Kangol hat fan.
Red Kangol hat, brown liquor drinking in the bag kind of guy. That's what he is.
I'm a fan of him now. You never say anything about that.
From York, Pennsylvania.
Well, I don't know. I just think that they've done. I just like this version of Brady than I've seen it before, and I am a true Giant fan. He goes, Mac Jones will be the next big QB. Justin's on the tear today. He's excited. By the way, we're gonna be next couple of weeks. We're going back to Thursday nights. We feel that's been better for our show. We also our buddy Justin Briley from the Bama Standard on every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Justin, if you hear me, see it correct. The Bama Standard, all about Alabama football. They have great guests, great hosts. It's an incredible show. And he's also one of our special guests as well. So we're going back to Thursdays at 8:00 because all our buddies who said they were bowling on Thursday, obviously they're playing badminton on Wednesday. Right, Byron?
Yeah, a lot of them.
And then they still got the nerve to say, okay, no, we're coming. When's your show again?
Yeah.
Don't forget Bocce Ball. Don't forget you Bocce Ball.
Yeah, not our guys.
Yeah, a few of them. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Now I'm not calling it. Hey, that's true Belichick. He also won't let people talk to his coaches. I tried to get a former Bama player who coaches with him on my show. So imagine Justin has a lot of phenomenal ex-Alabama players on his show. If you're an Alabama fan, or if you don't like Alabama and you want to get into the mix, trust me, you may be prepared. Go on the Bama Standard show. But you know what's funny? But Jimmy Jones was like that, but except for when you were a superstar. So was Parcells. So Belichick must be really off the charts because Parcells, Jimmy Johnson was on the Late Show, and they said, listen, how come you don't let the other players talk to the media like you let Michael Irvin, Emmitt Smith, and Troy Aikman? And you know what Johnson said? He goes, well, when those other players can play to the level of Michael Irvin, Troy Aikman, and Emmitt Smith, they can talk to the news media all they want to. But until then, they ain't got nothing to say.
That's true.
I love that comment.
Actually, Mr. Show, the original Showtime, Michael Irving, made it part of his re-up contract that he wanted to be able to not be censored.
Wow.
That was one of the things that he did. He told Jimmy, he goes, Jimmy, I ain't this ain't University of Miami no more. You gotta let me talk to the media when I want to talk to the media.
I'd like to know how that went down, because if you saw the 30-30 on the U, Michael Irvin was Jimmy's biggest fan, because when they broke that rule book out about the players, it was all the stuff that the Miami players were doing in the end zone. It was all the rules against University of Miami. And Michael Irvin then went to Jimmy Johnson, and Jimmy Johnson said, look, you don't worry about the college. You ain't worry about the school. I'll take care of it. You boys play football. Just like that. And Mike Irvin says, we're good. So it must have been something a little bit different there. But, I guess also Jerry Jones has his hand on the mix. Yeah, that's right. 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern for the Bama Standard.
I have a question now, since we have Andres here today.
Yeah.
Me and you have been battling about this, and I just have to throw this one out here because I've seen it like the last couple of days.
Who? Wait a second. Correct. Who directed to? Who's been battling?
Me and you.
Me and Victor. You mean Victor? Okay.
Yeah, Victor and I. Sir, this is my question here. What do you think about these college kids getting paid now?
It's going to change the whole dynamic. I think the commissioner of the MAC said it best. The discussion was always there. They saw, NCAA, all these conferences, they saw the light coming at them like a freight train, and they didn't enact and come up with a plan of attack. And then all of a sudden they lose in the Supreme Court, and then NCAA just flips the switch, and now it's the wild, wild west. I mean, you got whole offensive lines being sponsored by all you can eat buffets. You got defensive lines being sponsored by barbecue joints. You got quarterbacks signing with dealers or with car dealerships. It's the wild, wild west.
That's not the rule. The rule is that you can't sign. You can't. We got to get the rule, because
the rule is they are getting paid for their name, image, and likeness. So they can go ahead and, for instance, the quarterback at Kent State University is getting paid to show up once a week at a dealership to sign footballs. And his compensation package is a certain amount, but it is compensated by the dealership car.
Okay, so that changes a little bit of my game, Byron.
Because I read that they had with the kid from Alabama, the quarterback was Bryce.
$1 million.
He just told me. Justin just typed it. $1 million for
$1 million.
what?
And he's not even. He's going to be the starter, but they haven't officially named the starter. And $1 million this kid's getting before he even steps foot out there.
He's got a pending offer for the starting quarterback of Alabama, for what I understand. Whoever the starting quarterback is, they of course think it's going to be Gibbs, but whoever the starting quarterback is has a pending offer for $1 million. But it's all boosters. It's a booster organization that will sign the starting whoever QB1 is.
Okay, then Byron, I'll probably side way more with you. And then I'm not.
It's going to be the wild. It's going to be the wild,
I thought it was
west.
more about. For me, when you start getting into the technical, and maybe it's my bad for being ignorant and naive, I guess, right? When he says image, likeness, and you could just sign because you could show up to a dealership, that's a problem, right? Where I had a problem was like people were following someone on Instagram or
Right.
following someone on TikTok, or that kind of stuff, and letting them get paid off of that. To me, having a communication with someone like that, to me, I'm like, hey, God bless them. I'm pretty technical, and I have a hard time trying to figure out how to do that.
But then,
So Victor, here's what happened, and this is the case that actually blew the whole lid off the cover. It's actually coming out of Central UCF, a kicker who had over 1 million followers on YouTube, and he was getting sponsors for his meal plan since he was a walk-on player. He wasn't even a scholarship kicker. Okay, this kid didn't have a freaking scholarship. All right, so he had to pay for his classes, pay for his books, pay for his meals, pay for his rent.
How they know about it?
But he had a YouTube channel, and it's Florida. You got the pretty girls who want to be on the YouTube and whatnot. And he turns out that the guy's a good-looking black man, and he was a good soccer prospect, and he had a following. So all of a sudden, he started getting sponsorships for like meal prep plans, gymnasiums, nutrition bars, and all of a sudden, the NCAA deemed that he was no longer eligible, even though the school didn't give him 1 red cent.
See, that kid deserved.
But that's what started the problem. That's what started the problem. They basically said, since he was a student athlete, he waived his rights of his name, image, and likeness, and being able to cash in on his name, image, and likeness. So therefore, he couldn't have a job, he couldn't have anything, and that was the whole problem. He couldn't even get a discount that a typical student can get. He has to pay full freight because it would consider privilege.
Hold on, one of our followers, my fraternity brother Greg Bonafote, is saying that Geo Baker from Rutgers, he has b-ball. I'm assuming that's baseball.
Yeah, basketball
was a major factor in getting this pushed through.
Yes, because he had financial backing from a bunch of people from New York.
Really, this guy's a good player. Jersey had to get in it somewhere, man.
Yeah, but then my other part: do you think it's right and it's fair that certain kids are going to get and others aren't going to get? And do you think it's going to cause like animosity, among certain teams?
My man, it's capitalism at its best. And that's how I got it. They have just opened the door. No. Victor, if you don't hustle, you don't get paid, right? And sometimes you might, and there's some people. And there's some people who might have more talent than you, but because you outwork them, you get those checks, right?
Byron, you know better than anybody else.
Yeah, that's true. But I'm just saying that, you have the quarterback, the quarterback that's getting the million, for example, the $1 million contract. He's getting $1 million, whatever way. But then you got that offensive lineman that's got a block for this dude. Is getting nothing. You don't think it's going to cause a problem with these, 17, 18, 19-year-old kids?
Well,
welcome to the new era.
Online. Guys, hold on. The biggest thing that's coming up online right now is that, do we think there should be a cap? And if we do, what should that cap be?
I honestly think that it should have been a stipend. And it would not destroy the structure of how these schools pay for all these other Title IX programs. As someone who used to coach college football, I could tell you
is for the listener.
For Title IX is for every one male scholarship, there has to be a female scholarship. Now, how do those female scholarships get paid? Well, unfortunately, it is paid for by basketball and football solely. In most athletic programs, it's solely. I'm sorry.
Fortunately,
no, it's a shame because, for instance, I was at a university, and I can't say which one it was, but you could do the math by looking at my resume, and I could tell you this.
Okay,
so we played.
Just keep going.
So we played in a 3-year span.
Michael Irvin, don't worry about it.
In a 3-year span, we played LSU, Ohio State, Virginia, Minnesota, Illinois, Penn State, and not one program paid us less than $3 million a game. But yet the football program still had 16 shower heads, but only 4 were working. Where'd the money go, bro?
Yeah. Well, I mean, look, yeah, but you're always going to have that side, but then you have like, we can go back and forth with this because it's just
how does the money come around? It came around on free
there's no equality
labor
in money in this country. The middle class is getting squashed. That's why you come to,
this is going to, but the whole structure. But what I'm getting at is
debt-free life. You learn how to get out of debt. That's what you got to do. Make some money.
Here's the thing that actually worries me. It's going to destroy some athletic departments because now, for instance.
All right. Well, I don't want to go on this too. Bottom line.
No. Bottom line. How do you fundraise?
There should be a cap. No.
I wish there was, but how do you do that now when the Supreme Court says they could have free reign at making their money?
Yeah, but what was this about?
That has nothing to do with our opinions, right?
Yeah, but
is $1 million
the opinion
cap.
It would have been.
The opinion was that $1 million is too much, and the question is, should there be a cap? And that's really the question.
I think, but that's a pie in the sky now. How do you put a cap after you? How do you close a pressure cooker when you've already popped it open?
I got you, bro. But we always come back down to if we could have redo it. Let's say we said
it would have. If it definitely a stipend would have
should have gotten some money, right? Because you're saying a stipend, right? Stipend is saying they should get
basically
paid.
My play, we got it. We got, I think it was like $250 a month or whatever, to wash your clothes.
Not enough.
Poor back then. But, most of these kids, they come from poor backgrounds, they don't have, and you want to take your girl out to eat when you're in college, you want to do this, and it'd be nice to have a little pocket change. You don't need to be walking around with $1 million or whatever. Give them something, something.
Hey, brother, here's the next question. How are they going to pay taxes?
Let me throw. Hey, come to the financial education workshop that I put on once a week.
Taxes.
Let me teach you how to get out of college debt. Let me teach you to pay less taxes. Let me teach you to pay less interest. Don't forget Victor Rocho on YouTube. I will teach you how to make money, save money, and get out of debt. So when you get that money, how you don't pay.
There you go. Take advantage of the kids.
Let's go do another.
Kids.
Wait, that's another promo, so I can get my kids college paid. So back to that, but real quick before we get into this, a couple pieces. One. Byron and I are both getting old. I don't know how to. I think maybe we need. Hopefully on Thursdays, this don't happen so much. I like to give out my condolences to the Lucens family. Scott Lucens has lost his battle, 11 years with cancer. He's 56, is my age. His kids are my kids' age. They got twins, and I just want to say, God bless their family. Just too many people were losing. It's like that movie Bicentennial Man with Robin Williams. People think they wish they could live forever. Unfortunately, the longer you live, the more things you see that you don't want to. So it's kind of difficult. So I want to shout out to there. We also sent our condolences to the Stewart family. I have a little piece I wanted to play real quick, and then Byron, you wanted to for next week we wanted to do something a little bit more intense. So let me just do a quick little intro here. For Mr. Stewart and Scott and the Sugarloaf Springs community. That's where I used to live in Atlanta. He also was our neighbor. Byron, we were in a cul-de-sac. He was on the cul-de-sac with me. And then across the street was my buddy who played for Kansas City. Remember Bella McDaniels? He was the guy who passed away also last year. Remember?
Yep.
We were literally 5 houses in the cul-de-sac. 2 of the fathers in that house passed away in their 50s.
Wow.
Let me see if you guys make sure we're good. And then we're gonna go a little deeper for the family next week because they're having
because the funeral was Friday. We laid the rest in Fort Sill National Cemetery in Oklahoma.
I don't know why this does this. Sorry about that. I wanted to do this because I already had it queued up. Many people are passing there. You see my screen here?
First, let me
Yeah.
introduce our special guest, Ed Stewart. Is that correct?
Yes.
Ed, I pronounced Stewart, right? Let me take him. Okay. Just unmuting him. Okay, he'll see that. Ed Stewart, he is another Jersey boy, born and raised in Matawan, New Jersey. I had a few college friends that went to Matawan. I wondered if Ed chews tobacco like those guys did. Ed was a member of the #1 ranked undefeated state champion Matawan Huskies. He's also a member of the Hall of Fame for Matawan football and an inductee for Rutgers Hall of Fame. He's been an AP All-American, first team All Big East pick as a middle guard, and he's also played linebacker. As a linebacker, he has 2 interceptions in a win over Tennessee in 1979. He's had 15 tackles in the Garden State Bowl against Arizona State. He was invited to the summer camp for the Denver Broncos. At Rutgers, he posted a 25-9 record as he contributed to 222 career tackles and 13 QB sacks. This is a very special part, and I'd like to thank Ed for his service. Ed was in the U.S. Army. He's an Army veteran serving from 1985 to 2006, which is 21 years. He was part of Operation Iraqi, Freedom, Operation Storm, Desert Storm, South Korea, and West Germany. Today, he's retired, living in Lawton, Oklahoma. I want to thank you for your service. My dad is a 20 Army vet as well. And welcome, Ed. How are you doing today? If I can get him off of mute.
Figures, Byron.
All right. If you get him, tell him.
Talking about me when you were saying all that good stuff. Then it dawned on me.
That's how big. That's how great Byron thinks of you. So, Brian gave me the intro, and you did a lot of great stuff, and you should be proud of that. Just being in the Hall of Fame in both of them.
And so I guess that's where the accolades come. I played that semi-pro football also, the New Jersey Rams.
Oh, I remember now.
All right, I just wanted to, Byron, that's a little taste about what we're going to talk about next week. It was a nice little intro. God rest his soul. Prayers out to his family. Byron, you want to say a little real quick? But at least we got to hear who that man was.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss my, a couple of first cousins. Good guy. Even though he left us in the rain that time, I still remember that, and beat me up a couple times. But it was all with love, and he's a great guy. Great family. Brother, Mickey and Billy and Jeannie and the whole crew. And I know they're gonna miss them. Especially his daughter Janine and his son, and out there in Oklahoma. They're all gathered up, and hopefully, in the future, we're gonna have a memorial in New Jersey for
him. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm glad we by the way, that was our producer Santiago made sure we got that tape back. So I want to thank him for getting that for us, and we'll have more of that next week. I'll try to make sure I have a little queued up a little better. I couldn't tell what it was, but I thought the intro you gave us was pretty good. No, you had a good background. Oh, yeah. A couple things that they responded back to what we were saying, and let's get into real sports and get done with this other stuff. So a couple things. Greg Bonafonte had a good point too. He goes, who cares what money they're getting? They're going to play 2 years and get out.
Not with the college guys. It's 2 years.
No, there's a lot of them aren't staying all 4 years. Not too many of them. And then Justin was Justin was a good thing that Nick Saban already has financial advisors and executives meeting with his players. That's not good enough. Justin, send them to me. Let me help them with their money. They're like, Justin, don't help them. I'm not from Alabama. They don't have to have Saban. Saban's just a coach there. You send them to me, Victor Rocha. They can do financial planning with them. I'll help them with their cash flow policies. That's all. So anyhow, pretty good point, though. In some of the sports, especially the really good athletes in basketball, think about the basketball players. Most of them are one and done anyways.
Yeah, but they still – I think they should just get a little pocket change, and that's it.
I'm with you. I just thought that was an interesting point. It's true. Not a lot of them are going to be there for 4 years, and some of the younger ones aren't going to get anything. So But all right, let's get into some of the other stuff since Byron, you started this.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did. You wanted to hear
Yes, I
take
want to hear somebody that was going to be on my side for a change.
time out. I flipped sides when he gave me the whole piece. Because now it's just like any other, you know what I mean? It wasn't. I was just upset with like the girls that were social media and they weren't getting like the YouTube guy, right? But when it just starts getting name, likeness, image, all of that, you're just a professional athlete then. It really
Then
don't.
you're going to turn around and you're going to leave like the smaller schools, like now you got people want to go to USC. Oh yeah, I can hook up, with the movies and this, and USC's, the Alabamas, the Auburns.
I got your point. We got on 4 shows. Between that and the line, I don't want to hear. I'm done. All right, let me go. Giants, Saquon Barkley. What did you think about his comments on being ready? He goes, "We'll see." So far, people are not really happy with the way he's responded to him being ready for the season. What are your thoughts, Mr. Jones? You're there closer.
Well, you figure he's not going to be like Adrian Peterson, where everybody, when he came out the gate and almost had the 2,000 yards or close to it. He's not going to be like that. It's going to take time, for him to come back, to be what he was, because he's not Adrian Peterson. He's going to play, but we'll see how well he's going to play. And that's all I got for that.
I don't know, man. I was kind of disappointed in his response, but look, as long as he plays, everyone forgets what he says. Andres, what do you think when a player like of Saquon's status? He shocked a lot of reporters. The analysts didn't like it.
I think it's just one of those things that they're overanalyzing it. I mean, the guy is basically saying, "Hey, I don't know what my body's going to do. We'll see." I mean, the man is doing his part of doing the rehab, doing everything right, but he doesn't want to. He's always been a low key guy. He never was a flash. He ain't fragile. But at the end of the day, he's just trying to say, "Hey, let's see what I am." He might not be the 10 that he was. Maybe he's a 9.5, and a 9.5. I'll take that any day over a fumbling dude.
Really like that. You see that little cartoon I found online?
Yeah, I saw that.
I didn't do it. That someone else posted.
Yeah, I know who did it.
By the way, I tagged Mark on it.
You figure Saquon's not saying too much because he's got to worry about that offensive line. I'm still going to start with that again. That offensive line is. Yeah.
Oh my God, I know. Have you not seen my posts? Every time I see it, Byron says it all the time.
I'm going to beat that into the ground.
Well, we'll see what happens. But I got something pretty good here, though. All right, so Byron, you're going to enjoy this one. So the next one I want to talk about real quick is, hold on a second, is the 21, where is it? 21 questions, next steps into the 2 years for under Judge. So I don't know if I'm going to go all 20 years. What can the Giants fans expect in year 2 for? All right. So the first one was, I don't really care about that one. 14. What is the biggest area the Giants need to improve coming off last season? Byron?
Offensive line.
I didn't have to answer that one. Okay. Number 13. What are the goals and expectations for Daniel Jones in year 3?
Don't
Andre?
have colitis.
I honestly think that this is going to be one of those things that it's either going to make or break Jason Garrett. And you got to remember, guys, they dropped a lot of money for Jones. They let Eli go for Jones. Jason Garrett is basically on the hot seat. If he can't make it work with Jones, I think he's going to have to kick rocks.
Well, I think Jones is gone too, so that's the whole piece. And by the way, Byron was right. They also mentioned about his turnovers. His turnovers dropped. He's got to be able to go and get that down. All righty, and let's go. What sticks out to you on the Giants' schedule, Byron?
Come on, Tampa Bay.
I beg to differ. I think it's going to be the Washington the Washington football team.
Yeah.
I think that's going to determine whether or not they're going to have a good season or a crap season.
Well, this is what they state, Andre. It's a pretty good pick. They put the Rams, Washington, and the Saints as the three top-ranked teams in the beginning. They're coming out. Okay.
Week two, baby,
Right.
is Washington, and I'm not. If I were you guys, I wouldn't worry too much about the Broncos. That's a rebuilding process, but Washington, anything could happen with that team. And if they have the right spark, they're just going to make anybody look silly.
Didn't I tell you that, Victor, about Washington Redskins?
Yeah, well, look, here's the next question. Who will be the toughest competition for the Giants in the NFC East?
Washington Redskins.
If it's the Washington Redskins that some of my colleagues think it's going to be, there's going to be a rude awakening in that NFC East.
Say that again.
If they truly fire on, let's say, 7 of the 8 cylinders, I think the Washington football team will definitely be. Hey, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. I really believe that if they're firing on 7 of the 8 cylinders, they're still better than that rest of the division, because that's a very weak division right now.
The article is saying that they picking both they're making the same arguments you guys are making for about Washington and Dallas, and the fact that the top defense, which Byron says all the time with Washington, and then they have a journeyman quarterback with Ryan Fitzpatrick. But then when they're also saying when go in doubt, you go with the better quarterback. So they're picking Dallas because of Dak.
Dak, we don't even know if he's going to go out there with a peg leg or if he's going to actually be Dak.
Who is the sleeper player to watch on the roster for the Giants?
Ooh, I think it's going to be a tight end. Because Jason Garrett is infamous for tight end pop passes and tight end darts, and that's why when he was in the Cowboys, every tight end whoever wore the star on his helmet looked like $1 million.
Byron,
probably Galladay. Big hire, made him a.
Remember, this could be any side. It didn't say offense. So who is the sleeper player to watch?
I'm going with Galladay. When he was at Detroit, he was injured quite a few times. He's the receiver that Daniel Jones needs, the big body receiver. If he throw the ball, that he's going to go get it. They got him a weapon and a few other ones, but he's the main key as far as to see if this guy is going to succeed.
Interesting. Well, I got something for you, Byron. That's going to kind of I didn't want to lead you, but they're saying because of the way we did the draft, we did pretty well. We did pretty well with the free agency outside the offensive line. They're saying the sleeper player that is being overlooked is the Vikings edge rusher, Ifeadi. Oh, do you know how to pronounce these names? I don't know how to pronounce his names. Ifeadi Odengbi.
Oh, you just butchered that one.
Yeah, I did, man. I can't. I feel like Charles Barkley. A nice compliment in Minnesota, both Minnesota. So the edge rusher from Minnesota,
right? They're
saying he's going to be the sleeper player to watch because they got so many other. Obviously the sleeper player is the one who comes out of nowhere. So we know these other players.
I honestly think also on the defensive side, Dexter Lawrence is going to have his day. I think it's going to be with as bad as so many offensive lines are right now, and they're going to be very worried about Ifeadi. Finally, Dexter Lawrence will be able to manhandle a couple of these guys.
Justin likes Ryan Anderson, Byron, linebacker.
They got him from Washington Redskins, I think.
Huh?
Yes, they did.
Ryan having Reggie, and then they said having Reggie Ragland added the roster. He said and adding Reggie Ragland.
Yeah, inside linebacker, from Alabama, of course.
Yeah, but Justin does not like Ezekiel Elliott. He didn't even like him from apparently he didn't go to Alabama either. What were the biggest takeaways from the Giants 2021 draft class?
Yeah, that they picked a receiver first. What traded down? They traded down to pick a receiver. I'm sure we remember that day.
Yeah, no, it was
I'm not. I'm not gonna talk about it. No comment. Victor's face that day was just pure entertainment.
I'm not. Guess what number 3 question is, Byron? Guess.
Off the line.
I hate that damn question, man. I hope they put it in your face. Okay. Number three. What is the state of Giants offensive line heading into the season? I'm not going to answer that. That's just a question. I'm not going to talk about it. We're not even going to talk about it.
Whoa. When we put up the chart, what did the chart say? The New York Football Giants were the 32nd ranked offensive line in all of football. It said it right there. And I'm not the only person that's saying it.
All right. I got you. You're not only the only. You shouldn't be the only person who's saying it. You say it enough times. Holy smoke! I think this is like the 17th show that you mentioned it.
Until they prove me wrong, I'm gonna beat it down like you couldn't imagine.
All right, so look, I'm gonna go. I want to go to something that Andres brought up, and then I'd like to do see if we have enough time to talk about. There's an article about the best wide receiver. Actually, maybe Byron, I'll hold off for the next show. But there's another article about the NFL's best wide receivers heading into 2001. Revealed gold, silver, bronze picks compared to, and then I put compared to Byron's picks. And no, but that's a compliment. I think you did a great job. In fact, I'm telling everybody, you like fantasy football? My co-host, we have it online. Go to sportscast.net. He just laid out the entire NFL for you. I mean, whether you agree, you don't agree, but he laid out every player from every team by defense, by line. I mean, so if you want to just, because some leagues are different, you only need to pick a defense in some leagues. Some leagues you can pick offensive players and so forth. So we'll see where we're going at. But Andres, let's talk about the new coordinators in this season. You were bringing up.
Well, one of the ones that is going to be intriguing is going to be Lovie Smith coming back to the NFL. I have a lot of profound respect for Lovie. I've worked around people who worked for him, and I've had enough interactions with him to know that he's a stand-up dude. I just think that it's the game has changed. The game has changed, and it's either he's going to play catch up or he's going to get fired real quick.
Where's he at?
He's at the Texans. The Texans. I think, yeah, he is he's a defensive coordinator for the Texans. I think the other one that is probably going to start, the one that's probably going to start scaring people because he is an Andre Patterson disciple, is my man Reynaldo Hill over at the Chargers. And I say that because although he was a defensive backs coach, he has the mentality of a defensive line coach when it comes to putting together packages. He puts these awesome joker blitzes and all of a sudden sending dropping back the spur or the small, the weak. I'm telling you, he puts together some pretty good packages, and it also helps. I played him in Madden a couple of times and got my ass handed to me.
Well, hey, hold on a second. Let me tell you though, Lovie Smith coming back. Remember, Byron, like I said, there's sometimes those coaches. I mean, Lovie Smith was in the Super Bowl though, wasn't he?
He was a Super Bowl head coach. Yes,
Super Bowl head coach. It was him and Dungy, no?
Yep.
But I always say that, sometimes those guys who get the shots at the head coaches, they do pretty well. Actually, he did a lot better than some of these other coaches that were head coaches that did, like Wade Cook and those guys in there were good head coaches, but they were great, like special coaches, like defensive coordinators or offensive coordinators. So with him going to the Titans, that just raises the bar for me for the Titans.
Texans.
Texans.
Oh,
and the thing is, he's got an empty cupboard.
A year, bro, it's over.
He's got an empty cupboard. He's got an empty cupboard. He lost his. He lost J.J. Watt. He lost his stud linebacker, and he lost his shutdown corner. So, like I said, either he's gonna show that he's the mind that he is, and that I know and love the man for, or he's just not gonna make it.
Byron, I
just
just
don't
want to
make
say nobody else gonna like it. But go ahead.
I played with I played for him at Tulsa. Lovey was my position coach when I was there. And you talk about the nicest guy that he was hard on you as a coach. But I'm just saying, as far as like a person, he's probably one of the nicest people I've ever met in my life. But he's.
You can't explain it to me. Are you a hard coach and a nice guy? I just want to know like how you can be that.
You can.
It's very simple. It's very simple. It's very simple. When you are on that gridiron, you are coach. When you are in that meeting room, you are coach. When you are in that office, you are coach. Once you are out of that building, out of that stadium, out of that practice facility, you are mentor.
Yeah, but some people can't. Well, okay. I can't do that. One. Two, there's a lot of other coaches that will not do that. Pat Riley will not do that. Nick Saban barely talks to his own coaches. Nick Saban won't talk to his players. He doesn't really deal. It's all football to him. Pat Riley gets asked, "Don't you have these guys over dinner?" He goes, "Yeah. When they retire, they're not on my team. When they're on my team, I can't be a friend with someone that I'm going to reprimand in the same breath." That's why I was asking.
That's just, different people, different things. That's all it is.
So now let me tell you what I'm going to say, since you said it was the Texans, not the Titans, and I apologize for not understanding that. Two things. One, either Lovey took that position because he just wanted to get back at that level, thinking they could get him to another level. One. Two, I think maybe the Titans are trying to repair some of the damage, the crap that they've been doing. And I hate to say this, and maybe that's why they went after Head Lovey, and hope that's not the reason. I just think that is a bad organization right now. I just think I think they're setting him up. They may be setting him up for failure. They may be setting him up for failure. I don't know what it is. I have such a disdain for that organization right now that there's just too much going on there. That I wish Lovie Smith the nothing but the best of luck. I think he's a great coach. I'm just concerned about the position they're putting him in. Go ahead, Andre.
So he had offers to be a position coach in many places. As far as coordinator, I think this was one of the only ones that was thinking of him as a coordinator. But as far as position coach, I know for a fact Ron Rivera offered him, was one of the first people to call him when he got let go at Illinois and told him, "Get your butt over here."
Yeah, I can see him with Ron Rivera. What's he called? Justin said that Saban's actually pretty cool with his players. I've heard the opposite about that at the Dolphins. I heard he does not talk to anybody.
I think when he was, as someone who had to do an internship for a week while he was at the Dolphins, he's very business oriented, but I could see him outside of the 18 weeks of the season being a mentor. I could see it. Not necessarily.
He just seems like the Belichick kind of guy, right? I mean, just doesn't deal with any, I can't imagine Belichick.
Keep in mind what you see on TV is very different from what the man is.
Well, Justin would know, unless Justin's just got crimson on him. According to Justin, everybody from Crimson Tide, they're the nicest people in the world. Oh gosh, darn it!
Whoa!
I honestly think that the coordinator to watch is going to be Clint Kubiak. As far as the offensive coordinators, Clint Kubiak is Gary Kubiak's son. Gary Kubiak was
family member, Byron.
But Clint is a guy who is a film rat. He's one of those film junkies that he could remember a play from 16 years ago, like tell you exactly how many steps the wide receiver took instead of the proper route. And, he's one of those guys.
I miss that.
I honestly think that he is he is very much like the head coach of the Rams. And, either he is going to be too methodical where he is his own worst enemy, or he's just going to prove to be a genius. I think that's the guy to watch.
Another Sean McVay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I miss those. I miss those. Even though I was coaching in high school or a little bit in college. I miss those long hours of going over film. But we had 8mm. We didn't have it so easy.
Yeah, now it's like, whew.
It was so easy, but I miss those. We used to order food in. We watched the film, man. I swear, man, there's so many things. I don't have any regrets, but if I could have done some things differently, one of those would probably been coaching. Because I love breaking down film. I love
for Billy Brand. Dan Quinn, how do you think he's going to do down there in Dallas?
I honestly think that it's going to be an interesting situation for him. I honestly wish he would have taken a couple of years off before coming back. Usually there's there hasn't been a good track record of head coaches jumping right back into the coordinator role, performing well.
Well, Jason Garrett. He's performing well, but I mean, he's done it before. Wade Cook has done it before.
I'm not saying that it's a bad deal. I'm just saying it's just the track record.
Spagnola's done it.
Yeah, but how many coaches have gone immediately after being burned out as a head coach and being successful immediately afterwards? It takes a couple years. It takes 2 to 3 years, and for them to recharge that battery, learn at what other people are doing. They're not doing that. They're just going back to what they know, what they got beat at.
I gotta shut out because Justin gave me a little watch it. Got nothing but love for Crimson Tide. Nothing but love, Justin. Crimson Tide. I'm happy to hear that Saban's a nice guy. But all I care about Alabama, you need to beat down Jimbo Fisher. I want you to score 100 points. I want you to crush him. I want you to Jimmy Johnson him. I want you to bury him. I want him to get 0 points and score 90 plus 100 points. I hate Jimbo Fisher. I hate Jimbo Fisher. I hate Jimbo Fisher.
Well,
he ruined Florida State.
Why are you wearing that shirt then if you hate Jimbo Fisher so much?
Because he ruined the Knowles.
He did.
He ruined the Knowles. He handed over a team for 20, 30 years that was performing. Handed over. They groomed him for that position. Yes or no? We were youth fans. They groomed him.
Are you okay right now?
No, I hate Jimbo Fisher. And he's the one that talks smack. Can you tell? I hate Jimbo Fisher as much as you think the offensive line of the Giants stinks. I hate him even worse than that. He ruined a historic team. That was no reason. University of Miami, you could see what was happening. Why? Because University of Miami wants to be the Harvard of the South, a little bit harder down there. And it's a private school, right? But he ruined the Knowles. And then I love it. This is what I do love about Saban. Saban got no really emotions, no nothing. But when Jimbo Fisher said they're going to beat down on Alabama, and he was asked, a reporter goes, did you hear Jimbo Fisher? He said he was going to beat, Texas A&M. We're going to beat up on beaches or something like that. He goes, and Nick Saban looks up at the guys, in golf? That was my favorite line. He goes, maybe in golf. He goes, I don't think he's even beat me in golf yet. I don't know. Maybe when I see him for cards, we can straighten that story out. But it ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. I can't stand Fisher. Okay, he doesn't like Fisher. He did run the Knowles. And he said the same thing. He did run the Knowles and ran out Bowden. So he ran out Bowden and then run the Knowles down, man. So I can't stand that dude. Anyway.
Hey! On a more serious note, let's put out some prayer for Bobby Bowden. Turns out it was announced today that he has a terminal illness, and he's at peace with it. He says,
Coach Bowden.
He's a guy, yeah. Coach Bowden. Coach Bobby Bowden announced today that the family announced today he has a terminal illness. That he's at peace with it, and I could tell you that he's a God-fearing man, and he did a lot of amazing things. I didn't like the Knowles growing up, but I respected Coach Bowden. I thought he was a cool dude whenever he came into the building and was nice as heck to everybody in the building. So, my prayers are with him and his family.
Yeah, God bless him. He's 91 years old. Wow. I mean, he's 91 years old. I'm a Coach Bowden. I met Coach Bowden in 98. Godly. Yeah, he said he's a godly man. Justin said he met him. Yeah. Look, Bobby Bowden, I got some great stories about Bobby Bowden. I remember that when he had the nose up there all the time, and they're interviewing him. As they're interviewing, he's running a reverse. He's running an offensive reverse, and then he stopped. He goes, "Did you guys just notice he's talking to reporters as his offense is running a reverse?" Okay, and then one more story about Coach Bowden, God bless him too, is that only second to the lieutenant governor of Florida, Coach Bowden used the state of Florida's private plane more. Only to the second to the lieutenant governor of Florida.
I'm sure.
You want to talk about recruiting advantages?
I'm sure Nick Saban's up there too, riding that plane.
In Alabama?
No. Hold on. Alabama owns a fleet of planes, my man, because they have a fleet because they have an aviation department, and that's how they wash the money that way on that one.
Oh, Justin. See that? Oh, by the way, Justin said he tried to get me in there for financial education, but the secretary didn't put me through to save it. Didn't put him through. So thanks. Thank you. Thanks for the chat.
Yeah. They have a fleet.
You have an aviation department. You have a reason to get planes, right?
Yeah, they teach aviation.
No, but this was taxpayer money that it was recruiting people on. That's why, like the Gators, all three of those teams were doing well. The other two teams hated him because he was taking the state plane.
Just remember this, okay? If Bobby Bowden endorsed you as governor, you were a shoo-in.
Yeah.
And it didn't matter who else endorsed you. If Bobby Bowden batted 1,000% on that.
Wow. Yeah, he's still beloved there, man. I mean, it's his town. Justin just confirmed about the planes. Justin, whatever, we got our own like inside breaking news report from Alabama online right now. But I always said though, for me, Bobby Bowden had the greatest job in the world, right? Because how long he was at Tallahassee, right? Able to use the plane. They were in the top 10 every year, and he's making money and living in Tallahassee. You don't need a lot of money to live in Tallahassee. Now you may need some more, but when he was doing it, right? Andre,
he was taking pay
he
cuts.
owns that entire place.
But here's the thing. He was taking pay cuts so that he could improve payroll for his assistant coaches. But he was notorious for doing that because he was doing that at West Virginia before.
Say that again. He was what?
He would take pay cuts so that there would be more money in the pot for payroll of his assistant coaches.
That's cool.
And that's when they were making a lot of money way back then.
Well, the thing is now it's almost comical how much some of these coaches make. But back then,
400,000-600,000.
Back then, assistant coaches only made $100,000 if you were the coordinator, and 50-60 if you were underneath. You know, and that was the highest paying guys back then.
That's after you killed like 6 cars. And when I say 6 cars, because you had to be on the road recruiting, driving at your expense all the time. Trust me.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
They brought me on a coach, and the way to start,
no,
you got to go after a coach.
Yeah, but at that level, they've always had the courtesy car. Hold on.
Yeah,
at that level, they always had the courtesy car.
This was a smaller school.
Yeah, they had courtesy cars. So
yeah. No, the school had a courtesy car too. It was courtesy of the coaches.
No.
That was the courtesy. The courtesy was you take your car, you put your miles, and you're going to drive from coast to coast recruiting players.
My first recruiting trip, I go, cool. Where's the courtesy car? And they go, we ain't D1.
Courtesy. Well, we appreciate your courtesy, Andre, utilizing your car.
Bring back receipts, though.
Bring back receipts.
Don't bring back a receipt and see if you ever get paid.
Yeah, no, they won't mess around with that because they can funnel it through something else. All right, so we got interesting coming up. We got the season's already about starting in a few days, no? So
Camps are
we're gonna be
starting.
wrapping this up. What do you think
Camps are
of
starting.
Milwaukee, Byron?
Didn't I tell you Milwaukee was going to win?
I don't remember.
Well, don't get
I picked Phoenix
When it was-
6, and I
when
lost.
it was 2-0 when they were up, and what I say, and whoop, here they go.
Deny, deflect.
Who is the best basketball player now? Giannis is the best player in the world now.
I deny, deflect.
Oh, it's gonna be like that.
I picked Phoenix only while they were in it. I didn't pick Phoenix earlier, and I lost that one. I think Chris Paul didn't do as well. He's in Devin Booker. I was a little upset how they were trying to compare him to Kobe and to Dwayne Wade. And the kid did play great, but I hate when they compare players so young that haven't consistently delivered to a player that's already consistently delivered. I mean, I don't think that's fair.
So Chris Paul is the new Charles Barkley, paid 900 years and won nothing.
Oh man, and he's with the same team that Barkley.
Nothing.
Wait, whoa. Do you understand? The team that Barkley went to the championship was what team?
The Phoenix Suns.
Exactly. And it's
And
the
what did
team
he
that he
win?
lost to Jordan.
What do you win?
Nothing.
There you go. CP3.
Charles Barkley. I'll tell you, I love Charles Barkley. He goes, man, every time these guys get mad at me and they can't handle me bothering them, the first thing they come up, how many rings you got? That's all they got. He goes, how many rings you got?
I would do the same thing. How many rings you got? How many rings you got?
Well, here's the other story, Andre. I want to see what you thought and listeners out there. The storyline, though, that I do like. Yeah, look, I didn't really care who won or not. I was already upset when the Clippers got out Kawhi, right? I mean, 2 years in a row, I was expecting them to be in the championship, and they failed. And then 2-1. 2, I was also upset that Miami lost to Phoenix, lost that first game to Milwaukee, after beating them last year. So I was already upset with that. But the storyline that is coming out of this, I'm gonna see what you guys think, is that I do like, and that they're making noise about it, is the fact that. And it figures it takes a foreign person, right? And I don't mean that in any bad side to anybody or whatever, but I'm just saying to you, it takes a person from Greece to take a lot of money and stay with the team, stay loyal to a non-major market team. By the way, did you see there were 65,000 fans outside of the arena? Okay? He stayed with the team, didn't go to a super team, didn't build the super team, won it.
I think you got to understand, though, that the mentality of the typical European
I'm just saying you got to give
player,
them, right? I like that. That's what I do like about the story.
But you're also talking about apples and oranges. These kids that are brought up here in the United States, they're taught rings mean everything. And make your money and join these super teams and get your ring, get your legacy, get it going. The European legacy is more, what can you do to your community? What type of impact are you going to have on this young man? What are you doing for your legacy and your posterity is linked with being a role model, not just accolades. And I think it's a tribute to that young man's upbringing, being a refugee to Greece, making something of himself out of nothing. His mother working 4 jobs at one point just to make ends meet and feed all 3 boys. And all 3 boys now have rings now.
Because his brother's on the same team. Who's the third one?
Well, the one he's got a brother who played with the Lakers last year.
He's got all 3 boys are in the NBA?
Yes, sir.
Wow, but he's got a brother on Milwaukee that was with him.
Yeah, that's correct. That's correct.
Well, look, he did it, though, because that Milwaukee loves him. Did you see how those fans were?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. They freaking bum rushed him at a Chick-fil-A. He was at a Chick-fil-A trying to order, and all of a sudden people recognized his car and they paid for his meal. They freaking we're like, hey, just trying to take pictures with him and
How
thank
much does
him
he
for.
make? How much does he make?
Yeah, who knows, man? I
Okay.
don't know.
Well, okay, so them offering to pay for a Chick-fil-A meal? Come on, man.
Look, all I'm saying is
Byron,
it was nuts, man.
Byron,
And
I'll buy you a
that's just the
Chick-fil-A meal.
Milwaukee people, man. That's just the Wisconsin people, man. They just love on their players.
Yeah, hey, Midwest people are good people. Let me tell you. But
Why do you think I stayed?
let me tell you something. But that's also the same. I have the same argument though. Why I thought Kawhi should have stayed at Toronto.
No, totally different mentality, though. Nope.
I disagree.
I'm sorry, man. It's you're talking about a kid who, he ain't a kid no more. He was a grown man. He was already a mercenary when he got there. He was there with just a mission, and that was to win a championship and then get paid.
And he got
So
paid.
he was getting paid.
No, now he's getting
paid all over.
Well, no. Now he got paid.
There's some difference.
Wait a second. What, he said his contract with the Clippers, okay, Kawhi's contract, right, with the Clippers, right, contract with Clippers versus Toronto, right?
Yeah. Look at it. There's significant amount of money in both.
Kawhi Leonard signs 3-year, $103 million max with Clippers. Okay. Kawhi Leonard chooses LA Clippers for less money than Toronto Raptors could have offered. So what are you talking about?
No.
But and inclusive is he had all his meals paid for in the entire country. He would never have to pay for a meal for the rest of his life.
Where are the
And
endorsements?
they were buying him a house.
Where are the endorsements?
Endorsements in Canada.
What are you talking about?
What type of endorsements could he have gotten in Canada that he couldn't get that he can't get double for in LA?
Timeout. Do you look? I don't know. All I looked at it is that endorsements. I don't care where you look at endorsements. People get endorsements in sports. I don't even know the sport, right? So he's going to get his endorsements from wherever the heck he get his endorsements from. Number one. Number two, in my opinion, they would have had a chance to win a second championship because that team did good without him. Okay, and then number three, he would have owned through two countries. There no other player would have had that. He would own Toronto because he was loved here in the United States. And he was beloved by the entire country of Canada. You don't know how to be in the entire country and have one meal ever paid for the rest of your life.
Truth be told, I don't like the guy. I don't like how he treated Popovich. That's just my personal opinion.
Well, yeah, I didn't like that he left either because that was.
Oh no, I could respect that he left. I don't like him blowing up the bridge the way he did.
What did he do?
And what? He talked crap about Pop, and I don't think you should talk bad about a man who's won 5 rings, who has brought up how many superstars? I mean, how many Hall of Famers have played
and not left him,
and not left him, and never leave him?
And Kawhi was in the line, right, Byron?
Yeah.
He was in line. In other words, it went from the Admiral to Duncan. He kept just passing that baton to who's the French guy, Parker, right? Yep. To Ginobili. I mean, he kept developing these players.
Kawhi took the baton and threw it in the river.
That's exactly what he did.
And he won another championship, though.
Mercenary.
Yeah.
Like I said, he was a
yeah. Well,
I called it.
I just, I didn't like, and then I saw Paul George playing well. And then the other thing about Giannis, you got to give him credit. That injury he played, I didn't think he was going to be able to play that well. He had a hyperextended knee, Byron.
And he put up 50. That's all that matters.
50 points, 5. No. The best part about it was, I think he was like 14 of 16 from the line.
All I'm saying is the dude flipped the switch and decided he was going to win. And he knew he was going to win.
He put him on his back and carried him across the line.
Greg Butterford, I don't understand what he goes, Texas and Canada are much higher. Oh, taxes in Canada, much higher. Oh, that's what he was saying. He's right.
Way more.
That's
higher.
right.
Taxes.
Taxes are a lot higher, like 70%. In Europe, they are after the money, just like anywhere. He's just well bound. My fraternity brother's from Italy, so we were saying about the Europeans. He goes, the Europeans are about money as well. It's just that they're more grounded individuals. But they switched teams because what's his name from Dallas? He switched a lot of teams. I mean, one in Spain. He's from what you call it?
You're talking about Gasol?
No, Doncic. Doncic did he win with Spain?
Yeah, you're talking about Luka
Doncic won with Spain. So
Yeah,
my fraternity brother who was in Europe for 20 years in Italy, he says they like the money too, just like anywhere. He goes, it's a little bit more grounded individuals. They're more about the community, like you were saying, and so forth. All right, so we're going to wrap this up next week. We're going to continue what's happening, and hopefully there's improvement to the offensive line for the Giants by next week.
Oh, you're a funny guy.
Andre, I want to thank you for joining. You're always welcome on the show. We want you here at least once a month, especially as the season comes on. We expect you on, right?
Yes, sir. Already worked it out.
All right, and then the other thing is,
the 27th is the camp start for the Giants, just so you know.
The 27th. That is a week from today, no?
Next Tuesday.
Yep.
Tuesday? Yeah, next Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Oh, the Giants started on Tuesday. All right, so we'll have news on Tuesday, on Thursday, on Wednesday. What happened on Tuesday? Also, next week we're gonna have a little less. We're gonna have a little bit here, a little bit more about Ed Stewart. Right? Is it Ed Stewart?
Yep.
And his family. We're listening to a little bit more of that tape. Again, blessings to Scott Lucens and his family. I'm really sorry. 56. How old was Ed?
63.
63, man. Jeez. Pelham was 52. That's crazy these ages, man. All right, so God bless, and also a friend of mine, Lou Hernandez, lost one of his cousins who was in his 50s as well. He served in the Marines. I don't know if you saw that on Facebook.
Yeah, I saw it.
Let me wrap this up. You notice I put the Gary Sinise piece in there as well. So again, we want to thank you for listening in. And as always, we also like to end our show with the Gary Sinise Foundation. $1, $2, anything could help. To help our servicemen, as you see that we're finding quite a people who've done well and served our country for our freedoms, have left this world too early. Freedom and security are precious gifts that we as Americans should never take for granted. We must do all we can to extend our hand in times of need to those who willingly sacrifice each day to provide that freedom and security. While we can never do enough to show the gratitude to our nation's defenders, we can always do a little more. Gary Sinise. Remember, you can follow us on Twitter at the sportscast.net. Visit us online or visit us on our website at thesportscast.net. By the way, on the sportscast.net, we got Byron's picks. We got every pick. You can download the sheet. We do accept sponsorships. We accept donations. We are not. We they already passed that law, so we were past the college school, so we can get paid, right? So if you win in fantasy football, send some donations to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. So you go to sportscast.net, download Byron's top defensive of teams, players, receivers, linebackers, linemen,
quarterbacks, everything.
Quarterbacks, the whole kit and caboodle. All 32 is big. If you can read a spreadsheet, you'd be lucky. It's pretty big. So join us next Wednesday as we talk some more. Don't forget, please go to the little podcast, the little purple thing, the podcast. If you got an iPhone, podcast says podcast. Put Jersey Boy Sports Talk.
Like a regular phone?
Huh?
Regular phone? Does it work on a flip phone?
Yeah, no, I don't think it works on a flip phone. Beam me up, Scotty. All right, so look, super simple. Just go to it. Go here. Look, C says podcast. Oh, you can't see that. I got to undo that. Podcast and put Jersey Boys. All right. Well, hey, Andres, thank you very much. Byron, as always, I love the hat. You got to send me one of those. I'm going to see if I can. I don't look good at hats. I think I got a round face.
Oh, it's the hair. You got too much hair. It's too much hair.
I'll take
the good hair.
I'll take the hair over the hat.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, gentlemen, thank you again. God bless. This was a great show. Probably a little bit more on the money taken, so we'll have to talk about that next week.
Yeah.
And looking forward to it. The NBA Finals is done. Congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Midwest. I'm sure everybody's there excited. Is Ohio also excited over there? Well, no, because they got Cleveland, right? So have a good night, gentlemen, and God bless your families and all your loved ones. And hope we'll have a little moment for Ed and his family next week, and let's hope we can get 1 week by that we don't know someone that passes away.
Yeah.
It's been a rough 6 weeks, right, Byron?
Yeah, very rough.
It's been really rough 6 weeks. So God bless everybody, and we'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.
Stay safe, people.
All right.
Nothing but love, y'all.
Peace.